Hey my loves, and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Tiara Griffin, and you already know what I came to do: help you create the life that you love while remaining totally submitted unto Jesus Christ. Also, I am here to help you bridge the gap between mankind and God as Abba Father. So this week, this month, I want to start a series called Create the Life That You Love series. So each day this week, as far as our main videos, we will be talking about different aspects to help you create the life that you love, right? But I wanted to get up close and personal with you guys today because I really wanted you to feel what I'm about to say to you. This is going to be a total game changer in order to help you create the life that you love. Right? So have you ever been talked out of your destiny? Has somebody ever told you that you can't do this and the limitations that are before you, that you can't conquer that lion, that you can't kill that Goliath that may be standing in front of you, that you aren't able, that you don't have the right tools, and this, that, and the third? Have those people been the ones that have been the most closest to you? The ones that know your inner and darker and darkest secrets? Are those the ones that know every flaw that you have, every lie you've told, in your deep secrets, that know your flaws, your abilities, and everything about you? Has that person ever talked you out of your destiny? But my question is, how can you let them that have never seen talk you out of your destiny? And you may be sitting there wondering, like, was it my mom that talked me out of my destiny? Was it my father that talked me out of my destiny? Maybe my baby father talked me out of my destiny, or my friends talked me out of my destiny, or my society, my city, my education, all of these factors. But see, I'm not talking about external factors. I'm talking about you. How could you let you talk you out of your destiny? If you really want to create the life that you love, stay tuned and watch the rest of this video. And I'm going to tell you the 5 things you must let go of. The 5 mindsets you must let go of. The 5 mindsets that you need to shift in order to get to the life that you love. Stay tuned. One thing that I have learned is your present self is completely terrified of your future. Why? Because your present self has never seen the future. Your present self has not walked with God throughout all of eternity. It saw the lifespan that God had for you. So your present self is afraid. Not because of, your present self isn't afraid because of what's going to come. It's afraid of the unfamiliar, of not knowing what's going to come. But your future self is cheering you on because they know that you can handle it. Your future self is like, come up higher, like, come up here and see what I see. Your future self wants you to dream, and your future self wants you to create the life that you love. So there's 5 must mindsets that you have to let go of. 5 mindsets that you have to shift from. 5 mindsets that you have to leave behind in order to create the life that you love. The first mindset is you have to let go of your poverty mindset. You have to let go of the fact that you've never had before. You have to let go of the poor mentality that makes you hoard things, that makes you not want to see, that makes you not want to tithe, that makes you not want to give up what you have because you're afraid that if you let this go, this is all you have left. God always did the greatest miracles when the person had the least bit in their hands. So you have to let go of that poor mentality that keeps you where you are. Because a poor person will always be poor because they never think that they can get any further than where they are. A poor person stays in the same cycle and they never fix the cycle because they don't feel like anything is broken. A poor person is very comfortable where they are. They don't want more. They don't want greater. What they have is what they have, and they don't want to let go of it because if they let it go, what if it doesn't come back? That is a poor mentality that you cannot use to create your destiny. What I had to change my mindset about a seed and a seed that goes in the ground is I'm not losing this seed. I'm sowing this seed because something is going to come forth from it. I'm sowing this, but I'm going to see it again later. And when I go to release my seeds into the ground, when I am tithing or sowing in church, my mindset is yes, out of my hand, but never out of my life. Right? The second mindset that you have to let go of. See, we live in a generation right now where we are so entitled, including myself. We are so entitled. We want everything handed to us. But the other side of the coin of our entitlement mindset and our entitlement personalities that we have is we want to be entrepreneurs. We don't want to work for nobody, but we want it to be given to us. We don't like the idea of process. We are an unprocessed generation. An unprocessed generation means we don't want to go through nothing. We just want you to hand it to us. Give it all to us. We want all of these great things, but we don't want to work up until we get to it. We don't want to, what's the saying that I always say to people that I talk to? You got to do what you got to do until you can do what you want. We ain't trying to hear that. We're like, hand it to us. We don't want the company that has to be built from the ground up. We want the company that's passed down. And that was my mentality when I was developing this ministry, when I was developing this business. I was like, man, God, why couldn't you give it to me already built and I just take the CEO chair? Nah, there's some things in life that you have to grow up. You have to understand the process of seed time and harvest. And if you're a kind of person that does not like process, you will always be in a process. And you will always find yourself in processes that some people don't even notice that they're in a process for. But because you are so focused on not going through nothing, you will always go through something because God will put what you need. He'll put the thing that you desire on the other side of the process. The third mentality that you got to break before you get to create the life that you love is you got to let go of this mindset of I've done that before. It's a very bitter mindset, especially if that thing that you did before didn't work. Oh man, like you just like, listen, player, ain't doing it, ain't gonna happen, ain't gonna ever do it again. Why? Because that thing, that failure mentality, that failure mindset, because it failed before, there's no way that it can happen again. We are also a generation that when we have gotten so far from the idea of love and relationships. And it's sad. So you mean to tell me because one person hurt you that you can never, ever have love again? You mean to tell me because you got fired from that one job, like you'll never work again? Like, I like what the lady said today. I went to this meeting today, and she was saying how people walk out of your life. Maybe you were doing business with somebody, you lost a client, or whatever the case may be. They took their purse, not your post. You are still alive to live another day, and I don't want you to be held back by what didn't work. So if you write a book and it flops, or it doesn't go as far as you want it to go, so you're going to tell me that you're going to stop writing when you know you have the gift of writing? See, what we have to do is stop allowing the enemy to come in and take our possessions and take our harvest. He wants to impoverish us. There are enemies in the Bible. When the Israelites, were conquered many times, right? And every enemy that conquered the Israelites wanted to kill them. Mostly all of them. But it was the Midianites that did not want to kill the Israelites. They wanted to impoverish them. They wanted to take everything that they worked so hard for. And they worked the ground. They planted, they tilled the ground, they made the ground ready. And when it was time to harvest, the Midianites came in and took it all from them. And that's what the enemy wants to do. So most of you don't have a death sentence on your life. Most of you have your things impoverished. And the enemy wants to scare you because this didn't work. I'm going to put her, not even he's not going to put, but he tends to put distractions and blocks in your way from getting to the thing that God wants you to have because you don't want to go through it again. But your next, your destiny, the life that you love, the life that you want is behind the very thing that you don't want to do. Riddle me this. What if Peter decided, I'm not going to put my net down there again, Jesus, because I've already been fishing all night. I've already been doing this all night. Woo! Okay, I've already been doing this all night. Therefore, I'm not going to put it down there because nothing's going to happen. I've already done this before. But Peter's response was, although I've done this before, nevertheless, at your word, When he did, he had so much fish that the nets felt like they were breaking, that he had to call other people to come and help him lift up this net in order to put it on the boat. Okay? Let me tell you something. There's a lot of times when God has given us an idea. And like Tiffany Montgomery says, every idea that you have, you're supposed to cherish all of them, because you don't know which idea is going to grow up to be a king. So you treat all of your ideas as if they're good ideas. Stop asking people, is this a good idea? Should I do this? Should I do that? Do the ideas. But when God gives you an idea, because he's the one that gave it to you, consult with him first. Because a lot of times we take these ideas and then we try to develop them. We try to make them happen in our own strength without consulting him, because he has the idea in order to make this happen. He has a timeline, but we jump ahead of his timeline because we want to use everything that we have. But the thing about it is, you don't know how everything that you have works yet. You don't know the capacity of your gift. You don't know the capacity of your speaking. You don't know the capacity of your money. You don't know, because sometimes we will try to give money to this person when they don't need money. They need a favor, or you may need to barter. You don't know how to do certain things, and that's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. You know the facts of this thing, but do you have the wisdom in order to work this thing? Right? So don't be discouraged when it didn't work the first time and you feel this tug or this person bringing up the same opportunity that you passed before. Try it again. I mean, what's the worst that it can do? There's a 50-50 chance. And if you've been to the casino like I've been to the casino, I used to go to the casino and play the game that had a 50-50 chance. Either you're going to win or you're going to lose. So either you're going to fail or you're going to succeed. But if you will miss every when you're throwing the ball into the hoop, you will miss every shot, the ones you don't take. So that time, it may not have worked then, and it may not have worked the time before, but that don't mean you stop trying. Like a woman that wants to have a baby, if she wants to have a baby with her husband and her body's been giving her difficulties and the doctor said that she can't get pregnant, don't stop trying, because it may not have worked the first time and it may not have worked the second time, but you never know, that third time may just do it. You may do something different. God is just doing something in your body, but if you never try again because it didn't work before, you won't know the outcome. So to create the life you love, you cannot be afraid of the thing that you tried last. If the book flopped, you write another book. Or you revise the last book. Or you give it to God on the altar and say, God, what was wrong with this one? Or not even what was wrong, but God, did I not market this right? You got to ask the right questions, right? The fourth mentality that you got to let go of is your limiting mindset. The mindset that says that you can't, because you don't have it all. You don't have everything that you need. The thing about it is, God created you as a seed. And like T.D. Jakes was saying, he didn't say a seed, but he said a tree. We are out here begging, God, please give me a table. God, please give me a bed. God, please give me a house. But God rarely gives you the thing that you ask for. He gives you the opportunity, or he gives you the material to create it, because he gave us brains. So you're supposed to look at that tree and say, you're supposed to say, hey tree, what all can you be? Just like you're supposed to look at your kids, what all can you be? You're supposed to look at that idea, what all can you be? So if you have this idea to write this book, it's not just a book, it's a product that has other streams of income that's attached to it. So I can make t-shirts from this, I can make a movie from this, I can make a YouTube video from this, I can make a program for this. It's more than what you see. There's so much that is compacted in that one thing that God gave you. And a lot of times we try to look outside of ourselves for things when it's in us. The business is already in you. I remember I went to church last Sunday, and he was saying that Steve Jobs was born on a particular day, and Apple was born maybe 20 years after. But the day that Apple was developed was not the day that Apple was created. Apple was created on the day that Steve Jobs was born. Everything that you have is on the inside of you. God took the five fish and the 2 loaves of bread. Yeah, the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And he multiplied it based on what you have. We're always looking outside. And if you continue to look outside of what you have, you will never have enough, because you're waiting for it to become more. God always does his greatest works with the less and the least and what's left. Why? Because when he uses the leftover, he's able to blow on it and make it more. And nobody can say that it was them that helped you to prosper. Nobody can say that it was them that put you on. Nobody can say that it was them that did this for you. Because the only person that to point back to is God. God don't want nobody to take credit for anything that he did. With everything that he done. Like, nobody can do it like God. Like, when you let humans do for you what only God can do, it's always limited. And it'll always stay in the same place as a person can stretch out their arms. Whereas God is omnipresent. He's omnipresent. He is everywhere at all times doing all things. I'd rather give it all to God because he can put it in some place that people that I know right now would never even be able to reach. Why? Because we are limited. We are limited, but God is not limited. So maybe you should change the mentality of not only a limited mentality for you, but a limited mentality for God. God is not limited. He is able to do just what he says he can do. He's not deficient in any way, shape, or form. I'm getting too excited and I'm talking and I'm don't want this video to be long. Okay, and the fifth thing you have to let go is failures. Failures in comparison. Because you see somebody else fail, now you don't want to do it. Because you see somebody else try to create the life that they love and they didn't quite get it right. Or it took them a very long time. Now you comparing you to them. It don't take God long to make you what he wants you to be. David became a king overnight. There's some situations in your life that God's about to make it happen overnight. But because you comparing yourself to them, now you don't want to do, now you've limited yourself. And now because you've seen that they can't do it or they did it in a time frame that you don't believe that you have, now you don't want to do it. All of these mentalities are tricks of the enemy. And it's like a major roadblock in the way of getting you where you want to go. Are you going to allow the Are you going to allow the enemy to keep you from what God has for you? Are you going to allow the inner me, the inner thoughts, the inner mentality that has been developed by past circumstances to dictate what can't happen? Do you know that Hannah in the Bible was barren and her and her husband kept trying, but it was that one time that they tried that they delivered Samuel, who was a prophet, which was a mouthpiece of God? Do you understand that when you don't want to try something again, when you allow the enemy to raise up a standard, the Bible says when the enemy comes in like a flood, God lift up a standard, and God's standard is even greater than the enemy's standards. And God's standard is even greater than the enemy and the inner me's standard. Hannah tried again. What is something in your life that you need to try again? What is something in your life that you need to let go of and stop hoarding? Because if you keep your hand closed, nothing can ever come to it. What in your life do you need to stop comparing against somebody else? Because you trying to look at their winning season. I saw this on Facebook, but you don't know what they lost in their losing season. Stop comparing. Stop comparing and stop feeling so entitled. Nobody owes you nothing. Nobody owes you anything. If you want it, you better go out and get it. Because what's yours has your name on it, right? And I want to close with these last examples. There's 3 people that I want to mention to you right now. And I want you to pay very close attention. Because if they allowed these mentalities to stop them, we wouldn't have what we have today. Martin Luther King Jr. did not allow, let me read you what I wrote. Did not allow his brain, his past, his circumstances, his lacks, his deficiencies to talk him out of his destiny. There would be no revival of love between races had he stopped. There would be no Rosa Parks experience if she stopped. There would be no civil rights movement if they stopped. There would not be people that are reciting to this day, blacks and whites holding hands, white kids and black kids holding hands, had he said, I can't do this. Had he said that all I have is all I have and I can't do anything with it. There would be the birth of a revival of love instead of hatred. Had he not done something, and if he allowed somebody to talk him out of his destiny, if he allowed his faults and the places that he failed to talk him out of his destiny, right? Back to Steve Jobs. You went Apple phones had he not done what he did. What if somebody would have talked him out of his destiny? There would be no Apple. There would be no Apple. No Apple products and all the great things that we do have from Apple. Had somebody talked him out of his destiny. Had somebody told him that he couldn't do it. And what if, this one is deep. This one is deep. What if somebody talked your mama out of you?
Oh my God, you want to talk about mother? Oh, you want to talk about mother?
What if somebody told your mama that she can't raise no child? She can't raise greatness because she didn't come from greatness. She can't raise no child because of the society and the statistics that she is now finding herself deeply involved in. What if somebody told her that you would never be great? And what if she believed them and aborted you? What's in you that the enemy wanted to stop from getting into this world? But because of the tenacity of your mother, she said, no, I'm going to have this baby. But what if somebody talked her out of this destiny? What if somebody talked my mama out of me being born? I couldn't stand here today to tell you to keep pushing. I wouldn't be able to tell you that you can create the life that you love. Had somebody talked my mother out of her destiny, out of her generation, out of having me. So don't let these mentalities stop you. Don't let your inner me tell you what you can't do. You do. You try again. Get back up and try again. I don't care if it failed 100 times. You get back up and you try it again. You try it again because people want to see your consistency. Sometimes things have to fail continuously for somebody to say that, dang, she didn't give up. Dang, he didn't give up. Why he didn't give up? Because you believe in the vision. You know what God told you to do. And the enemy will put anything in your path because he's afraid of what's in you. And if he's that afraid, like the young lady said today, oh, I'm going to be real good at this. So create the life that you love and do it well. Do it big. Don't stop. Like, keep going. Keep pushing. Like, girl, you can do this. What makes you think that you can't? Oh, because you failed before. Oh, because you don't have it. Oh, because you're comparing. Oh, because you want somebody to just give it to you. Oh, because you don't want to let it go. Man, you got to let those mindsets go if you're going to create the life that you love. So, that is my video for today. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you share this video with a friend. And trust me, I know what I'm talking about because I was one that had all of those mentalities. And sometimes those mentalities still try to come up. But I have to pull down every vain imagination, everything high and lofty thing that may try to exalt us against the knowledge of God. I had to read Battlefield of the Mind, which is another plug. If you want to completely shift your mindset, get connected with me. Follow me on all of my social media websites, Facebook and Instagram at Tiara Griffin. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos. And I have a program coming out called The Restoration Academy, which is to help you do 3 things. Heal your heart, discover your vision, discover your purpose, and activate your vision. And I'm developing that program right now, and the registration will be open on November the 18th. To be in person is $97. To be online is $67. Listen, this is a program that's going to shift your life. And if you want to create the life that you love, if you want to create that vision, if you want to bring that vision to life, if you want to birth out this baby that just feels like it's not coming and has been delayed, listen, sign up for this course. If you feel, matter of fact, I'm going to ask you the questions right now. But I gotta go. I love talking to y'all. I love y'all so much. I could talk to y'all all day. All day. Okay. Are you having trouble getting your dreams into reality? Is your dreams better than your reality? Can you see the life you desire, but it feels like you're living under a glass ceiling? If you feel any of these ways, if you feel like your vision just is not manifesting, and you need somebody to walk with you, and you want to be in person and be around other women or men who may feel the same way, yo, come to this class. The registration The Restoration Academy and classes will be available. It's going to be 3 classes, and it starts in December. So look forward to those dates. I love you guys. Make sure you follow, comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video. For real, don't be stingy with information. Let people know, like, this is what we talking about. And I promise you, if you follow the steps and if you come to this class, your life will change in less than 90 days. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.